Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to be doing a video that I have been planning to do all March, and it's for Epilepsy Awareness Day, and this is just going to be discussing what epilepsy is and my experiences with it. I really want to do this video because I want knowledge out there. Epilepsy is one of those ones where you know of it but you don't know much about it, and I think that there should be more information out there because it's a condition that most people live with, and it's really horrible, and it does take a lot out of you. So I'm going to talk about what epilepsy is and all that side of things. Then I will talk about my personal experiences with epilepsy because I want to share my experiences with you guys. So, epilepsy is characterized as the tendency to have recurrent seizures in the brain. Seizures and epilepsy are not interchangeable. A seizure is the event that happens because of an electroneurical absence in the brain. So, our brains all have neurons that go in alternating patterns, and basically when those patterns are disrupted, that's why a seizure happens. So it's like if people were in a line waiting for a plane to board a plane and then someone just darts right through and knocks everyone over. That's basically what happens. The neurons go flying everywhere, and that's why a seizure is happening. They're not the same. Epilepsy is the disability of the tendency to have recurrent seizures. A seizure is just one event. A seizure can last from a brief second to up to 3 minutes, and they depend very much on the severity of the seizure. Depending on that seizure, you can have a sensation or feeling, awareness and consciousness may be lost, or you may have some awareness, behavior, or movement in the body. So the three types of seizures are generalized, unknown, and focal point seizures. Generalized is where you lose consciousness, like you don't know what's going on, you lose consciousness and you aren't aware of what's going on. Unknown, it's generally just a placeholder because you don't know the cause of what happened. Like, it could be a general or a focal, but unknown is just a placeholder until you can at least get more information, or you're not sure what kind of caused the seizure to happen in the first place. And then focal is when you have some awareness that the seizure is happening while it's happening, and that's the most common. Like 60% of people with epilepsy have focal point seizures. As with seizures, there are many different types of epilepsies. It all depends on your specific type. Most people's experiences will differ. I myself, if there was like a spectrum of like least affected to most affected by epilepsy, I'm somewhere in the middle. I've had it since I was a kid. I've never grown out of it. And while you can sort of grow out of it, it's not something that is easily overcome. You have to have been seizure free for 10 years, and you have to have been off medication for 5 years for your epilepsy to kind of be considered cured. But yet again, that all depends on how you go with it. I myself, touch wood, have not had seizures for a long time, but I still am on medication because I can't. I've tried to go down as low as they recommend, and I just can't do it. It's just not possible. So that's my bit of it. But yeah, it is treatable. It's a treatable disability. You use anti-epileptic medication, and yet again, depending on the severity of your epilepsy, it depends on the severity or how high a dosage of medication you have to have. It's also very important to note that you need to sort of figure out what your triggers are. For me, my type of epilepsy is photosensitivity epilepsy, which means I get triggered by flickering or flashing lights, mainly caused by strobe lighting, and it's been very well documented that these things cause seizures in me. From my last seizure to now, it's mainly just caused a bit of dizziness, and just it's not a very nice feeling. So it's important as a person who lives with it to know what the triggers are. However, about 26% of people who live with epilepsy do not know what the triggers are, and so that is a kind of scary concept. But it's very easily manageable. Like I said, there's medication that you can go on to manage your epilepsy, and it's really fascinating just how this thing works. Like, as much as I don't like it, it's really fascinating to see how it works, and I'm just, it's really odd. So that's the more informative part of it. My experience has generally been that I was not aware of the seizures. Like, I fell, for me, I fell into darkness, and like I lost consciousness and I don't know what's happened. So from most of what I've been told is from my parents, who are like, yeah, it was really bad. And living with it as a kid, you kind of develop an awareness for avoiding your triggers. Like, I have not gone to a place where there is said to be strobe lighting. I have avoided most triggers. I couldn't even watch fireworks when I was a kid, or even to now, I have to watch them on the TV or have them shielded by the trees, because that just bang and like little flashing just makes me dizzy and I don't like it, which is sad because fireworks are very beautiful and very pretty. I can't watch certain episodes of TV because there's strobe lighting. I can't watch various concerts, or if I do go to concerts, I have to shield my eyes whenever they do the strobe lighting because I have a fear that it'll set something off. And managing that takes a really big toll on your mental health. It's not something that I personally like to talk about because it's one thing that takes a really huge toll on your mental health, and it's really taxing, not only physically but mentally as well. But managing it, while it's not that simple, and yes, I do have to make some adjustments to my life, I do feel that it's got easier as I've gotten older. As a kid, you're a bit mixed up about it. You don't understand why you can't watch the episode of The Simpsons with the strobe light, or you don't understand why you lose consciousness. And it's really hard as a kid to understand what's going on with your brain, and you feel different and you don't want people to know, but it has to be said, because in the event of an emergency, people need to know this stuff, and it's really hard to come to terms with, and it took me years to come to terms with it. While I said earlier that I had not known seizures, what my seizures were like, because like I said, I fall back into darkness is my experience. The one time that I really experienced sort of how it felt was in high school. I was sitting in my legal studies class, and for about 20 minutes, I couldn't hear. I was feeling tingly in my hands. I couldn't hear. I could see the lips moving, but I couldn't hear the sounds. And for that 10 minutes, I was never been more scared, because I looked up seizures and stuff when I was in high school because I wanted to know more about what my disability was and what epilepsy was for me. But it was something that I got so scared, and like it went away, the tingling sensation went away, I could hear again. But from that point on, I was more careful about everything. I made sure I take my medication. I made sure that if I was going to a friend's party, I would ask, are there going to be strobe lights? I had to do all this because that episode scared me, and like it wasn't an actual seizure, but it was so, like, feeling was so close, it made me so anxious. From then to now, it's gotten better. I have not had a seizure since 2000, and that's 18 years, and I am so happy that that has not happened. I really just have had a hard time managing it, and to finally get to a point where I am being really good with it is so rewarding for me personally. I will say, in regards to mental health, it was a really taxing thing, because at some points you can't be social, because most of the social situations that you put into, especially as a teenager and as a kid, most people don't think about that. Like, I remember there was a dance in year 7 where I spent most of the night outside on the steps because they were having a strobe lighting and disco balls, and those were various things that sort of made me feel dizzy and didn't make me feel very good. I remember at a friend's 21st birthday party, I had to leave early because she had fairy lights and they were flickering, and the flickering was making me dizzy. And even when they stopped it, I was still not feeling good, and I had to leave because that was something. And that took a huge toll on me because I wanted to be involved and I wanted to be a part of a group, but unfortunately I have to put myself first before the group. And I don't think that that's something that people really understand, that when you live with this, you are constantly having to make sure that you can be there. But if there's something preventing you from being there, it's not your fault. It's just that you have to take care of you. And it's hurtful because, you know, you want to be around your friends, but unfortunately, in some circumstances, you can't be around your friends because there might be something that might cause you to feel dizzy. And it's a whole thing. Like, you can suffer memory loss and everything and all this and just feel anxious, and it's really insufferable. Like, I don't like feeling that way, and I don't think anyone does. So that is my experiences with epilepsy and just a little bit more about it. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and I want to pimp out one charity and website that I've been following for a long time. It's called Epilepsy Action Australia. They support kids and adults living with epilepsy, and I think that's really cool because oftentimes the adult side of things is looked out upon, like we more focus on kids and teenagers, but adults still need ongoing support because while this is curable, it's something that's lifelong and you constantly are needing support. So I will leave a link or a little card up here to the website. Currently, I think they're selling merch for Epilepsy Awareness Day, and I really hope that you guys at least go to the website and check it out because they're doing fantastic work. I bought merch because epilepsy person support, and I bought this hat called No Epilepsy, No Fear, and I just highly encourage you guys to check out this website. So thank you so much for watching and listening to my experience. My experience is going to be different to everyone's experiences, but I think it's important to listen and learn to get a range of experiences so you're not just drawing from one wisdom source. The more wisdom from different sources you get, the more informed and better you will be. I really thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!